And the guys up front may determine, Brent, the outcome tonight. What elements make for a fantastic front court?
Well, nowadays it's about skilled front court players, guys who have the ability to not only shoot it, but also dribble handoff, make decisions with the basketball to help open up and spread up your offense for your guards and your quicker players to slash and find those gaps.
Now let's take a look at the starters for New Orleans. Ingram the 3 and Zion the 4. Ball and Holiday combine at the guard spots. And it's Favors in at the center, locking down the middle. Looking at the last game for the Atlanta Hawks, it was a loss to New York. He kicks it to Ingram. Outside Holiday. Pass the ball. Lets the 3 fly. Yes, and it's Holiday with the assist that time.
Not sure how he saw that there. Holiday with a firm understanding of how to get the ball to an open teammate.
Pass to Young. Wing shot on the way. Ball with the rebound.
Well, they shouldn't be giving that shot to anyone, but they certainly shouldn't be giving it to him. That's a big break for the defense.
Here's Holiday. Rebound by the Hawks. Getting their first look of the season at this Pelicans team.
And one of the few bright spots of their last season was sweeping the season series in this matchup.
Hunter, no good. And here in the first, closing in on 2 minutes played. Ball kicks to Ingram. Back to Ball. Now here's Williamson. Defended by Young. Shot clock at 3. Here's Ingram. Favors trying to break free. And it's Ingram missing.
The defense is tough as it comes right there. He's a hard man to deny when he gets the ball to the rim.
Here's Herter. Hangs in midair and converts on the double clutch layup.
Focused shot there and a tough one. Give Herter credit.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, I got a few minutes to catch up with Alvin Gentry. He said a big key for them will be containing Trae Young. Coach said he can be streaky, but when he heats up, his deep range makes him tough to defend. Kevin, make that almost impossible to defend.
Thank you, David. Out to the right wing. Hunter kicks to Young. Fires the 3. Hits the three-point bomb.
I mean, how do you stop a guy like that? Defensively, you want to protect the rim. He's so far away as Trae Young from the bucket.
On the wing, Holiday. And the rejection by Collins. Young taking his time here. Herter passes to Young. Dishes it to Collins. Back to Young. Lays it up off the glass. Young's got 5 now.
Young working hard on the defensive end that time.
And Holiday kicks to Ball. Holiday, the pass to Williamson. It's good. The assist that time from Holiday.
And the combination of his quickness and soft touch around the rim really allows him to pull off shots like that. A lot of players don't have the reverse in their arsenal.
Now, here's Collins. He's coming off a 28-point game against New York.
He also had 2 blocks that really impacted that game, guys. He really made his presence known.
Offensive rebound, Capella. And they call the foul, so a chance at the line for one more coming up.
And this guy eats glass for a living. Capella with great anticipation on the backboard.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight.
Not the best statistic for him in terms of his performance at the line. Very low numbers.
Shooting 1.
That's good from Capella.
Well, the new front office in New Orleans, led by David Griffin, opting to keep Alvin Gentry as a head coach, a great decision because the players that they brought in the trade for Anthony Davis are going to love to play at that fast pace. You add Zion Williamson to that mix, this team immediately becomes one of the more interesting and exciting young teams in the NBA.
Here's Young after Drew Holiday's score. Collins with it, now guarded by Ingram. Collins, good.
John Collins does a nice job reading the defense there, staying focused right through the contact and gets the finish.
And Brent, a lot of times when a new head of basketball operations is hired, a new coach is coming up next.
Well, the continuity there is interesting because of the time that Alvin Gentry spent in Phoenix, and David Griffin was there with the Suns as well. And so that's going to help out this young core, that they know that there's a collective consciousness coming from both the coach and the front office for them to lay the foundation of what this new Pelican team is going to be all about.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
The Hawks have made their only other free throw attempt today in an earlier trip to the line.
Yeah, looking over their percentage on the season, I think they will be thrilled with the number in terms of their free throw percentage, 79.
2 shots.
That's good from Young.
Well, as good as he is offensively, the challenge for Trae Young as the years go on here is to stand up defensively and shut down whoever he's guarding. Small and slender, if he can become just a little bit above average on that floor, that's a huge win for the entire team.
And so Young nails them both. And he said he's eager to change the narrative about his defensive shortcomings. But, Brent, what does Trae Young need to do to improve there?
Well, I think he has to look at the approach that Steph Curry had. You remember with the Warriors, a lot of questions about Steph not being able to guard his position and shifting off with Clay. Trae's got to accept that challenge as much as he's trying to lead this team offensively. If he can show defensively he can be consistent, that's going to go a long way for these young Hawks.
The pass to Collins. Here's Herter. Last game he had 10 points. Back to Collins. Capella, the pass to Young. From past the arc. The Hawks again can't hit.
Oh, just incredible, that spin. Shook him loose from the defender, but he just couldn't gather his balance there to follow through with the shot.
Holiday with the three. Atlanta with the rebound. A tough loss coming against New York in their last game played. Now, here's Hunter. Defense is right there. Unloads from 13. Count it.
A solid mid-range shooter. Hunter knows where his strengths are.
Young against Ball. Outside Favors. New Orleans needs to get off a shot. The shot by Holiday, no good.
He's not very hard to defend right now. This is when the defense might step back and let him try to find his range.
And their offense already in a flow. Some stellar shooting to jump out to this lead.
New Orleans making some changes here. As we get a break in the action now, let's take a look at the East and how the teams are stacking up. Take a look at the Hawks. It hasn't been a great season for them. We may see some changes in the offseason.
And, you know, right now for Atlanta, they're already looking to the offseason. And that's a shame. Their fans deserve a little bit more from this team.
And the body language right now kind of telling the story. Losing takes a huge toll on you, especially during an 82-game grind.
Now here's Jackson. He's averaging around 5.5 points a game. And off there, he misses his first shot of the night. Here's Bembry. First shot, first basket. He's out of the blocks fast.
And the defense looks soft early on. They've got to sum it up. A little more sense of urgency.
Now here's Reddick. Tight defense on him. Now the Hawks moving it the other way. And Reddish with the slam.
Excellent all-around performance so far, hence the big lead.
Well, if I was baking up a lead, I'd add two ingredients. One would be playing smart, the other one playing selfless. They've done that tonight. Serve it up.
The shot by Redick, no good. The Hawks leading by 12. Passes to Teague. Now, here's Reddish. He's coming off a 22-point game against New York. And there's the foul. It'll go on Josh Hart. That is his first foul of the game.
Well, he bailed him out with that one. Shot clock was low. You got to just play straight up D. That is not the time to take a foul.
Here's Teague.
And despite that miss, a strong start for them offensively.
And a miss there off the inbound. Here's Hart. Really had troubles in that loss to Sacramento. Now Hayes, 6 to shoot. And Redick kicks to Hart. To stop the run. That one misses. And Atlanta will go the other way with it. Here's Bembry, covered by Redick. And Carter has it in the corner. Rebounded by Hart.
And the effort never stops with him. No easy shots when he's on the floor.
Well, it's about the defensive end, and that's what guys feed off. He gives the effort down there at all times.
Bembry shot good.
I like their focus coming in. Terrific execution so far.
Well, if there were 4 or 5 boxes to check in terms of the game plan tonight.
Now we're in this quick break and out of the small forward position and the hottest shooters among them over the last month. Number 5 is Cam Reddish.
And that is such an efficient group offensively. That really is the best way to describe them. I mean, they never force anything and always wait for the right shot.
And when they get to those sweet spots, you can just count it. Each one of them is capable of having that kind of night where it looks like the bucket is about 5 feet wide for them.
Here's Hart. And again, no good by New Orleans.
And they've come out with a take-no-prisoners approach on the glass here tonight, guys.
Pass to Dedmon. Here's Reddish. Up and in on the layup. Reddish has got his second bucket of the game to go.
And they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing the ball into the paint. And when Kyle Korver played for Atlanta, he set a league record with at least 1 3-pointer in 127 consecutive games.
And to think that you just wouldn't have one of those nights where nothing was going in, 127 is pretty impressive. Record was broken eventually by Steph Curry in 2016. But for Atlanta, that 127 is still a team record, and you wonder if one Trae Young might have his eyes set on it.
A whole new cast of characters for the Pelicans. 3 promising first-round picks, Greg, and the young players acquired from the Lakers and veterans like Favors and Redick.
All of a sudden, a wealth of options for Alvin Gentry. Time will tell how they did in the AD trade, but seems like they're off to a nice start.
2.
Free throw, good. Teague.
Well, some people looking at Atlanta and their situation in terms of the rebuild and wondering what direction they would go. They've made some pretty solid picks, got John Collins at the 19th pick as a foundation piece, and then obviously drafting Trae Young and Kevin Huerter, relying on shooting on the perimeter, and things moving along swiftly in Atlanta.
And so Teague hits 2 free throws. And John Collins, Brent, falling that late in the first round, shows you how deep that draft was.
Now, some people thought it was going to be a slow rebuild in Atlanta. They've made some pretty good picks, grabbing Collins, as you mentioned, and then last year picking up Trae Young and Kevin Huerter in the draft and relying on some shooting. That number 19 has been pretty lucky so far for the Atlanta Hawks.
And he is just so tough to guard. He can fake you one way and then use that beautiful spin to just blow by you.
The Pelicans shooting their first free throw of the game right now. And the Hawks making a change here.
One shot.
And perimeter shooting, never more valuable. And that's been J.J. Redick's M.O. all along. An elite marksman who can hit from anywhere.
Teague drives in. Here's Fernando. And he battles for the ball and gets the second chance bucket. And the Hawks lead by 17. New Orleans has gone 2 of 5 from three-point land here in the first quarter. Jackson against Teague. Jackson misses.
We're not going to see that very often. The defense in the vicinity, but still, he's not one to blow layups.
Reddish's shot is good.
Really seizing the momentum of this game, but doing it with a methodical approach.
Well, how good have they been on the inside tonight, just getting down into the painted area and just dominating, controlling that spot.
Here's Hart, following the basket by Cam Reddish. Hart, no good.
And even though he didn't get a piece of that shot, you love the pressure he puts on the shooter.
Yeah, that's the kind of energy that you want to see on every possession throughout the game.
Give them credit. Offensively, they've been the more efficient team.
Yeah, that along with maintaining the pace of play right now, playing with tons of intensity.
And so it's the Atlanta Hawks with a 21-point lead to end the quarter. The scoring has been tremendous, and they are shooting lights out with very high accuracy. Right back after this break. A unique upbringing for Clint Capella. Spent years in a welfare orphanage in Switzerland. He said he never imagined he'd come this far.
As a kid, I wasn't even dreaming about that far. I would say that's even past my dreams. I mean, now I'm just living the moment, trying to work hard as I can, and just enjoy the present. Enjoy the present.
Just an inspiring story, Greg. It gives you perspective on why you should be grateful for everything you have.
Kevin, without a doubt, Capella's upbringing helped shape him, and the hard work he continues to put in is really admirable.
And if you're just tuning in, we've got a wide margin on the scoreboard, but plenty of time left for a comeback. And guys, we've seen the Hawks really take control here.
Boy, their offense looks really good when everyone's in sync. Terrific first quarter.
I couldn't ask for a better one right now. Just a complete rhythm by all the guys who got some minutes. Wonderful start.
We've got Dwayne Dedman, Teague out there with Reddish. Then there's Carter. And it's Fernando in at power forward. That's the group starting the second quarter for the Hawks.
2 shots.
First free throw is good. Brent, the league's been trying to clean up some of the physicality that we see, some of the jawing, but there are some players that do a great job of nonetheless getting under an opponent's skin.
I don't think, Kevin, over the past couple of years, we would deem the NBA as being more physical than at any other time. Would we say that?
I think that's fair.
We would never say that. But there are still irritants in the game. And the reason why those guys do that is because that's their competitive advantage. And that's the way the league is always going to operate. There are going to be guys out there who are going to use either their intellect to get inside your head or do things on a physical level that are going to cause you to think about what it is you're doing on the floor. Exactly. And when you find those guys, they're really interesting players to watch. You're not going to replicate their shooting form, Kevin. But in terms of sometimes their approach, there are things that you might be able to learn from a Draymond Green or a Marcus Smart.
There's no doubt.
Offensively, defensively, they are in total control.
Yeah, the other team a bit concerned here. They're trailing, and the lead seems to be growing.
And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
Well, this season, the Pelicans finally getting themselves their own G League affiliate, the Erie Bayhawks in Pennsylvania. And in 2022, they'll move closer with renovations to the Legacy Arena in Birmingham, Alabama. And when that's completed, it's really going to help out the young core and the draft picks that have been collected by David Griffin to do some player development that's going to keep this team competitive for a very long time.
2 shots.
And the first one drops. And Brent, kind of a musical chairs situation for the Bayhawks, the original franchise, this season moving to College Park, Georgia, to become the Skyhawks.
That's right. That team was affiliated with the Atlanta Hawks, and now the Pelicans take over for the next 3 years in Erie with the new Bayhawks franchise before that move to Alabama in 2022.
And so he's able to get one of 2.
And even with the shift from Budenholzer to Pierce, the Hawks continue to rely on the 3 as much as any team.
No doubt about it. I think the front office still accentuating the fact that they want to find some floor spacers after that 19th pick in John Collins, a guy that can rim run and protect the middle. They wanted to go after as much shooting as they possibly could.
The drive by Redick. That one rolling around and rims out.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
And there's the foul. It'll go on Josh Hart. That's his 3rd foul of the game. The Atlanta making some changes. Collins checked in for Dwayne Dedman. Hunter comes in for Carter. Young is subbed in for Teague. Williamson is checked in for New Orleans. Holiday comes in for Jackson. Collins passes to Fernando. Collins kicks to Reddish. Oh, yes, he did. 5 up and 5 down for him so far.
A big man John Collins seeing the court that time.
Outside, Redick. Pass to Hart. Gets that one to drop. First one of the game after 4 straight misses.
Yeah, that play never gets old, Kevin. The pick and roll will still be an offensive staple 100 years from now. Trust me.
To the paint. There's the pass to Fernando. Redick against Collins. Here's Reddish. But they recover it. And too long on the shot. To the middle, here's Williamson, and the dunk by Williamson.
What amazes me about watching Williamson, his lift into the air, it's so effortless.
Pass to Collins. Here's Fernando. Young outside. The Hawks need to get off a shot here. The Hawks working the ball around. Yes, that goes in. Young's got 9.
You just can't take Trae Young lightly from anywhere on the floor. These kind of shots will help him get into a rhythm.
Outside Holiday. Shoots. Fernando pulls it in. Fernando's got his 5th rebound in this one. Young with the ball. 9 points in the game so far.
And just not able to find the target from 3-point range here in the second quarter, although he did knock down one in the first.
The shot by Redick, no good.
Well, even though he misses that one, the defense has got to talk about that, Kevin. That's a bad miscue, and you can't give up looks like that all game long.
Whistle blows, basket is good, so a chance here for a 3-point play. That sends John Collins to the free throw line. That one is on Holiday. The Hawks have gone a perfect 7 of 7 from the line tonight. And the Hawks making a change here. Herter's checked in. The Pelicans also changing it up. Derek Favors checked in for Okafor. Brandon Ingram comes in for Josh Hart. And it's Lonzo Ball in for J.J. Redick. You know, Brett, we know guys love really jawing at each other. What was your criteria for issuing a double technical for trash talk?
Yeah, in today's game, it's kind of like it could be a whisper or a wink, you know, the way that they look at it.
It's both sides, doesn't it?
And they just try to curtail anything that could escalate, Kevin. That's really what the referees are doing. As soon as they see some kind of body movement or see guys starting that way, they want to cut it off before anything else happens. So the criteria is a little bit confusing. Sometimes I like to see them getting after a little bit.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin. Well, the Hawks said they were going to be patient when they rebuilt their team, and they were going to do it through the draft, and they've stuck to that script. Now, Trae Young is probably the biggest name, but Atlanta's added a lot of great young talent the last 3 years. There's John Collins, Kevin Huerter, and in 2019, the Hawks added 3 more good young players in the draft. DeAndre Hunter, Cam Reddish, and Bruno Fernando. Things are looking up in Atlanta.
I would think so, too. On paper, it looks good. We'll see if it materializes. D.A., thank you as always. Here's Fernando. Stolen away. And Huerter gets it to go. Huerter's got 8 points.
Huerter also comfortable getting physical and scoring against the defense, not just showing that he shoots it.
Pass to Holiday. Pass to Williamson. Over Young. And it's Williamson missing. Last outing for the New Orleans Pelicans. It was a loss to Sacramento. Hunter dishes to Young. Count that one. He's got 11.
Yeah, they're going to have a nice little run here.
And here's Ball. He'll bring it up for New Orleans. It's off to Utah for him after this game as they take on the Jazz. And that will be the 4th of this string of 5 played on the road. The shot by Holiday, no good.
With him struggling tonight, they need to find some other options out there to keep themselves in the game.
And a long windup and strong follow-through on the one-hand jam.
Yeah, he's not going to mess that one up.
With the assist.
And here is Ball. He had an 18-point outing in their last game against Sacramento. Ingram. Collins grabs the miss.
How about the timing he shows there to challenge that shot?
Yeah, not easy to do there, and that's a guy that you can tell takes every possession defensively very seriously.
Holiday, the pass to Williamson. Ball kicks to Favors. No one near Williamson as he lets it go. Bangs home the trifecta. Here's Young. He's coming off a 31-point game against New York.
And don't forget about his assists. His playmaking was as good or better than his scoring. He was in complete control out there.
Here's what the Hawks have lined up on their schedule. On Saturday, they'll take on Kevin Love and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Then on Monday, they'll be facing Drew Holiday and the New Orleans Pelicans.
And for that matchup with the Thunder, that's where you have got to bring your A game, especially when you know you're going to be fighting an uphill battle all night long.
That free throw good from Young.
And they have yet to miss a shot from the line here this quarter.
Clint Capella, he's checked in for Atlanta. DeAndre Bembry comes in for Hunter. And the Pelicans making a change here as well. Hayes is checked in. And so Young nails them both.
And New Orleans, not the largest market, but a lot to like about living in the Big Easy.
Well, you just said Big Easy in New Orleans, and I saw Kevin Harlan's head whip over here because I know what he's thinking about. Food, baby.
That's right.
Food. But whether it's music, art, architecture, New Orleans has a tremendous culture.
Shot clock at 6. Here's Ball. Rebound by the Hawks. Young outside. Pulls from the top of the key. Good on the jump shot. Young's got 8 points in the quarter.
Now that basket must be widening out right now, Kevin. He's making almost every shot he's putting up this quarter.
Now here is Holiday. He's guarded closely. And Clint Capella is going to pick up a foul. That's his first foul. And when it comes to choosing, Brent, the MVP, the Coach of the Year, the Rookie of the Year, all these different great awards, do you like the current voting structure for these big awards right now?
I don't mind the current voting structure. I don't know how you get away from what it is in terms of handing people ballots to figure out who it is that they think have earned those awards throughout the year, Kevin. What I don't like about the structure is that you have media members who are voting on things that have huge financial ramifications for organizations. And when that stuff happens with a player who's going to earn a supermax contract because he made an all-NBA team, what you're going to start doing is restricting smaller market teams from being able to afford the ability to keep their star player with the team. And so that needs to be fixed and fixed immediately.
I do not like the media. Wait a minute.
Wait.
I am the media.
You are the media, Kevin.
Strike that. Let's rewind.
Can we delete that?
Ball feeling it out a bit. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. And for all the drama surrounding Lonzo Ball's entrance into the NBA, one thing is for certain, he can play.
And Lonzo will always have the media attention, but the fact is he is a very talented player. His playmaking and passing was as elite as advertised from day one, starting to find his spots on how he can score for himself. But everything else with his game is what you'd want from an elite point guard.
No good on the free throw.
Yeah, impressed with the work ethic of Ball. You can see a desire to want to be great, and he's going to continue to work on improving those weaknesses.
Carter, he's checked in for Collins. And the Pelicans also making a change. Jackson, he's checked in for Drew Holiday. And he sinks the second.
And working, Kevin, themselves to the line here in the second. A nice way to get your offense going.
Young passes to Capella. Here's Bembry, guarded by Jackson. Knocked away. Kicks it to Ball. And the basket is good, and he's got a chance here for one more at the line.
And he's really shot the ball well, but it hasn't been contagious.
The Pelicans have shot 3 of 5 at the foul line.
One shot.
And that one misses.
And just a much better job of attacking and getting to the line here in the second quarter. Didn't have a single attempt in the first.
Inside. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. They get Derek Favors.
They're over the limit. That's his second personal.
The Hawks haven't made a mistake at the line yet. 10 of 10.
Clint Capella. 2 shots.
Two shots.
You got this, baby, yeah.
That's good from Capella. The Atlanta making some changes. Dwayne Dedman comes in for Kevin Huerter. And it's Teague in for Young. And the Pelicans making a change here. And he can't hit the second.
And coming from a background with player development for head coach Lloyd Pierce.
Well, I think he's great at just being a cheerleader and a confidence builder for this young team. I believe that to be a good fit here in Atlanta. He brings a great hands-on approach, and very, very important for him to think about player development as these young guys grow together.
Teague dishes to Dedmon. Here's Bembry, guarded by Jackson. Back to Dedmon. And it's Melly with the rebound. New Orleans has gone 1 of 3 from way outside since the start of the second quarter. Jackson gets the bucket.
And Ball sets up his teammates, and when they're open, quick to whip it around. One of the best ball movers in the league.
Here's Teague. It's rebounded by New Orleans. Outplayed in the previous game on their schedule, losing to Sacramento. Ball. And there's the rebound by Dedmon. Dedmon's got 5 rebounds tonight. Bembry kicks to Teague. The pass to Bembry. The kick out to Teague. From about 16, it's not going to go for him. And New Orleans will go the other way with it. Here's Ball. Makes that one his 6th of the night, shooting a very healthy 6 for 9.
Gotta respect how quickly Ball gets to the rack. I mean, if you give him the lane to the rim, he is going to exploit it quickly.
Back to Capella. And it's Melly with the rebound. Here's New Orleans. They're on an 11-1 run right now. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
And it's the quickness of Ball that's a problem for defenders. Solid at finding ways to get fouled on the way up.
3 trips to the line so far for him in this one.
Not the best statistic for him in terms of his performance at the line. Very low numbers.
Shooting 2.
That free throw missing. Atlanta making a switch here. Reddish is checked in. The Pelicans also changing it up. Okafor is checked in for Hayes. Josh Hart comes in for Ingram. And J.J. Redick is subbed in for Frank Jackson. So he comes up empty, missing both. They have been really controlling this one.
You never want to be complacent on the floor. That's when you lose momentum.
Just 2 seconds between shot clock and game clock. Now here's Teague. Looking at his point production, he averages almost 11 points a game. From deep three-point range, the long-distance 3 is buried. Teague's got 5 points in the quarter.
Well, if you let a player like Jeff Teague get set from behind the arc, he's going to make you pay.
And through one half, it hasn't even been close. It's Atlanta running away with it. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Kevin, thanks. Alongside Coach Alvin Gentry. Alvin, what sorts of adjustments are you going to make in the second half?
Well, we just got to get ourselves organized. We got to get back. We got to take better shots. You know, the problem that we have is we're taking bad shots and they're running out on them. We just got to take good shots and we got to get back and get our defense set.
The best defense is offensive efficiency. Thanks, Coach. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. And stay with us, folks. We'll be back just after halftime to get the third quarter started.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey everybody, welcome to the 2K Sports Halftime Program. I'm Ernie Johnson alongside Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. We saw Trae Young lighting it up in the first half. He ended up with 17 points, 2 assists, and 1 rebound. Kenny, what was your take on Atlanta?
More spectacular play by Trae Young. It's not just the skill set, it's the instincts of the game. Makes quick reads, and he's decisive.
Shaq, how do you think New Orleans played?
Well, there's no wonder they're getting blown out. No energy, no fight in the rebound battle. Ernie, you got to pick it up. You got to pick it up starting now, or it's going to be impossible to come back. Like the Pythagorean theorem, times 50, times 100, times 50, times 10. Impossible to figure out, Ernie.
And that should do it. With the second half about to begin, let's send you back to Kevin Harlan. Go back to Kevin Harlan. Go over there.
And there wasn't too much drama in the first half, but maybe things will tighten up here in the second. It's been one outstanding game from Trae Young.
Definitely been challenging the defense here early on, not settling for anything outside.
And you want these kind of nights where you can start to see those openings before they happen.
And as we dive into the second half, we'll find out if the next two quarters are any different from the first two. So far, it has been a runaway. Third quarter action getting rolling right now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's who's on the floor. Setting the floor now for the Pelicans. Zion is the 4 with Favors at the 5. Holiday and Ingram out on the perimeter. And it's Ball in at the point. Young against Ball. Puts it up from 7. Good. And that's now 19 points for Trae Young.
And now the defense full attention and antennas up. Trae Young getting warm.
Now Holiday to the inside. That's good from Williamson on the assist by Holiday. Holiday's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. Second half rolling along now. About a minute played here. Young outside. Ingram with the steal. 2-on-1 as they jump out on the break. And slam dunk by Ingram.
And Ingram is just so long. I mean, he covers a ton of space and just so quick in transition.
Young passes to Collins. Here's Herter. He's covered by Ball. And Herter gets it to go.
Big miscommunication on defense. He recognizes it and quickly takes advantage.
Well, I know they don't have mobile devices out there for texting, so they might as well talk to one another, Greg. I'm not sure what the coach said at halftime, but whatever it did, it's lit a fire. They're now 4 of 4 from the field to start their offense here in the second half. Well, Drew Holiday and his brother Justin had some hard-fought games in the driveway. I know a little bit about that. We never ever finished those games, Kevin. Too much fighting going on. And by the end of it, both Drew and Justin Holiday find themselves in the NBA.
And so it's Ingram who brings up the ball for the New Orleans Pelicans. And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Kevin, when Trae Young was in college, he was known for his long-range shooting. But Young says, the people who know me best know that I'd rather get an assist than any other stat. I pride myself on making the right play. Knowing your teammates get joy and excitement from playing with you is all I care about. Kevin?
That's great to see. Thank you, D.A.
6.
Two shots. Relax on the first.
And the first one at the line is good. And Brent, that fierce, competitive nature for Drew Holiday, still there to this day.
Yeah, so much talk from his coach, Alvin Gentry, about Drew working himself constantly to exhaustion, just continuing to push the limits. And he'll sit at his locker, he'll take a long shower. He doesn't want to move till his body recovers. He knows how important this game is to him and how important now he is to the Pelican franchise moving forward.
Young against Ball. Right side, Collins to the right side. Here's Herter. It's rebounded by New Orleans. Favors got 5 rebounds tonight. Releases. The shot by Holiday, no good.
But only the first miss of the second half. They've come out here with authority.
Hunter kicks to Young. That's a basket. His 8th from the field, 8 of 14.
Guys, his consistency in terms of shooting has really helped them seize control.
Ball with it. He's picked up by Collins.
My goodness. Save that one. I want to see that again.
Me too. Just absolutely beautiful. Young against Ball. Ball's knocked loose. Stolen by Ball. Lays it in off the breakaway. And that's 10 points for Drew Holiday.
Holiday did a great job there, realizing they had an opportunity in transition, taking advantage of the numbers. Those are the kind of situations where they thrive.
Outside Collins. Ball against Young. Just 5 on the clock. That's tipped. Shoots over Ball. Kept alive. Capella. And the dunk by Capella.
That is a product of pure effort, guys.
I agree, and that's nothing new coming from him, GA. He loves going to work on the rebounding, going to work on the boards.
Stick with fundamentals there. Shot goes up, box out, or he'll destroy you.
And the rejection by Collins.
No, sir. Collins sending that one away.
And Herter gets it to go. Herter's got 14.
Well, he's too good a finisher to blow that kind of chance, but that's going to be a wake-up call to the defense.
Passes it to Ball. Here's the 3. But they'll get another chance. The putback, he hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
Second chance opportunities. Williamson explosive into the air with the touch and concentration to finish.
Outside Collins. Here's Capella, and the rejection by Favors. Here's Holiday. 10 points for him. A floater, and Capella sends it back. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Pelicans will retain possession. Atlanta making a switch here. It's Ingram on the wing. Great numbers on a nightly basis as he averages over 24 points a game. Atlanta leading by 22. Here's Herter. Down low. That's in, coming off the assist from Young. Young's got 3 assists now in this one. New Orleans has gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Holiday dishes to Favors. It's his first trip to the line.
Shooting for New Orleans. Derek Favors. 2 shots. Under 6.
2.
And that one falls for Favors. So for the Hawks, Reddish, he's checked in for Kevin Herter. And it's Teagan for Trae Young. Josh Hart, he's checked in for New Orleans. Reddick comes in for Drew Holiday. He makes 1 of 2 that time. And he may not have gotten the same attention as some of the other picks back in the 2017 draft, Greg, but John Collins out of Wake Forest has been outstanding thus far in his career.
Really one of the league's best kept secrets. Tremendous athleticism, also great hands, and just has a knack for moving to the open spot around that rim.
Hayes, he's checked in for the Pelicans. The Pelicans have gone 7 of 13 in the third quarter so far, just above 50%. Here's Williamson. Rebound, Atlanta. Collins has got 6 rebounds in the game. Inside. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
Clearly a foul.
Shooting. Fernando. 2 shots.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
Come on, you can hit this.
The first free throw is good. Greg Jackson, he's checked in for the Pelicans. Both good from the line that time. New Orleans has gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Hart kicks to Hayes. Here's Hart. He gives his team some nice contributions, averaging a bit over 10 points a game. Just 4 to shoot. And the foul on Cam Reddish. That's his first foul. Vince Carter, he's checked in for Hunter.
Vince Carter.
Pass to Williamson. Shoots it. Misses off the right iron.
He's going to be shaking his head on that one. Knows he missed an easy one.
Yeah, you can't make them all, and for sure you'll want him taking that kind of shot. Yeah, undersized guys with athleticism do these kind of things, playing above the rim. Love to see him get up like that.
Timeout called here. The Pelicans decide to talk it over.
And they're allowing too many points in the paint.
Okafor is checked in for the Pelicans. Outside Jackson. Outside Reddick. And the Pelicans miss again.
And they had some botched coverage that turned into no coverage.
In Atlanta again with the bucket.
Well, the ball whips around and finally gets to Jeff Teague, and he lets it fly. Just a terrific shot.
Jackson with it. Clock at 6. Out of bounds, Atlanta will take possession. Let's bring up the 2K leaderboard to show you the teams leading the league in assists this season. In third, the Pelicans.
And you know, when your team has a lot of assists, it's testimony to the unselfishness, the patience, the ball movement, the player movement. They have shown all of that.
Out of bounds, New Orleans will take possession. And a moment now to look at the year-to-year scoring output and how it has been trending for Collins.
And his scoring numbers have been going in the right direction these past few years. He's gotten better and better at handling what those opposing defenses are throwing his way and finding ways to get his points all over the floor.
Jackson passes to Reddick. With some arc. That's good, and it's Jackson with the assist that time. Reddick's got 5 now.
Not so much known for his ball handling skills right there. J.J. Reddick putting the defender on his heels.
And Teague, here we go, and it's slammed in by Teague.
And credit the screen for giving him the space he needed to get to the rim.
For sure, GA allows him to come in with the sledgehammer.
Yeah, why settle for the layup when you can attack the rim and rise up like that?
Reddick up top, 5 points in the game. Jackson from long range. Good on the three-point shot. Jackson's got his second basket.
I think the defense has more concerns out there on the floor, and they give him a good open look from the perimeter.
Here's Teague. An easy 2 points on the layup.
And of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is just smash mouth physical basketball, guys.
To the paint. Okafor gets the bucket.
Coaching staff would like some more shots from that range.
And here is Teague, 13 points in the game. Rebounded by Hart. New Orleans has gone into the three-point range 4 times since halftime and buried 2 of them. Jackson misses.
And the effort never stops with him. No easy shots when he's on the floor.
Well, it's about the defensive end, and that's what guys feed off. He gives the effort down there at all times.
The shot's good from Carter.
Pretty much not a player in the league is going to pass up a shot like that so much for the defense.
Jackson dishes to Hayes. He kicks it to Okafor, to the left wing. Here's Hart. Over Reddish. Hart, that's good. Hart's got his second basket of the night.
Probably wasn't the shot they were looking for, but they'll take the bucket.
Teague against Jackson. And Teague, here we go. Count the bucket. And he's got a free throw coming up as well.
Maybe the halftime break was good for him, allowed him to step back, calm himself down, get himself in the right frame of mind, and now shots are falling.
On the night, he's gone 2 for 2 at the stripe.
One of the areas where he has excelled all season long. How about 87% from the line?
Dwayne Dedmon's checked in for Atlanta.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. 1 shot.
Free throw, no good for Teague.
And Teague can be a knockdown shooter, especially from the free throw line.
And 4 years at Villanova for Josh Hart. Won the title back in 2016.
He just makes winning plays, hits perimeter shots, and the 30th pick in 2017, he has been solid.
Okafor kicks to Jackson. And the dunk by Jackson.
And slams it home and gets some camera time on the end of it.
He did. He spent a while up on that rim, didn't he? Teague surveying the D. That's tipped. There's 48 seconds left to play in the third. Melly passes to Hart. The 15-footer, good. Hart's got 4 points now in the quarter. Atlanta's gone 3 of 6 tonight when they've let it fly from downtown. Here's Bembry, currently averaging almost 6 points a game. Outside Teague. 6 on the shot clock. And so it looks like the Hawks will retain possession here. And the Hawks making a change here. Capella's checked in. .20 seconds left in the third. Now here's Teague. He's got 15. Shot clock at 5. From deep. They get it back. Dedmon. And Dedmon throws it down.
Dedmon using his length that time on the offensive end.
It's stolen by Capella. And so it's the Atlanta Hawks rolling along with a 27-point lead as we wrap up the quarter. It seems like nothing they do can go wrong as they string together one successful possession after another.
Yeah, an easy choice tonight. Look at the precision on this pass. Put it on a platter for him.
Well, there's a way to break down the defense with the handle, but you can do it with the pass. Prime example of that right there.
And as we head into the fourth, we'll see if there's a comeback in the works or if it's more of the same from the first 3 quarters. They've got Bembry. Clint Capella is out there with Dwayne Dedmon. Then there's Teague, and it's Graham in at the 3 spot. So that's the lineup for Atlanta. A nice shot by Teague.
And Jeff Teague knows he's going to get hit when he gets in there like that, but great job still knocking it down.
Moore outside. Floats one up. And stolen by Dedmon. Here's Graham. Sweet little floater.
Always fun to look at. Not tremendously efficient, but the floater, boy, those sure are pretty.
And the Pelicans shooting about 42% so far. And Moore kicks to Jackson. Pass to Alexander Walker. Now here's Okafor. To the wing on the left. Here's Moore. He sinks the 11-footer. Moore's got his first points in this one.
Moore just recognizing he had a little more space, if you will, Kevin.
Teague against Jackson. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. Brent, you know, the NBA, not the only league with great players and great play. Talk about some of the other prominent leagues around the world. There's some terrific competition.
There's some great competition overseas in the Turkish leagues. Some very good players that play in the Russian league. There are some great players who are coming out of Australia, and we're actually seeing players now skip playing in the G League to go down to Australia to start their development and professional career. So when we talk about the world game, Kevin, we're not joking around. It's a very real thing, and we continue to invite the best players that we can find, and they come from all over.
Damian Jones is checked in for Clint Capella. And so Teague gets 2 free throws. Now Jackson. Moore with it. To the middle. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
That's his second personal foul. At the line for the Pelicans, Jahlil Okafor. 2 shots.
Two shots. Relax on the first.
And he knocks down the first one. Here's a garbage time question, Brent. Why do some teams leave their star players in the game even though the game has either been won or lost?
Forgetful coaches? No, it
can't be that.
Well, I don't know if...
if you're leading by 35 points late in the game.
And the star player is still in the game, somebody's made a mistake with regards to the rotations. Quite frankly, there's really no reason for guys to be out there at that time. Early on in the season, it might be that the coach wants to start and play with certain guys, but as the season goes on, you just don't see that very much.
Teague, the pass to Dedmon. No good there. Excellent D there from Okafor. And turnovers have been the issue for him.
You can see the coaches have gotten into him a little bit about this. They've got to do a better job of taking care of the ball.
And here is Moore. To the inside. And there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul. Shot misses. He'll be shooting 2. And Atlanta gets called for the foul.
Okafor. 2 shots.
And that one misses. Good on the second free throw. For so long, the U.S. has been the country to beat in international basketball play. But there are some big-time challengers around the globe emerging.
Well, Serbia and Spain continue to be competition that the U.S. takes extremely seriously. And I'm not saying they don't take everybody that they step on the floor against with tremendous amount of respect. We know from years in the past that Argentina had its golden age with the players around Manu Ginobili and Oberto and Nocioni, but that seemed to be a timing thing for the Argentinian national team. Spain and Serbia will continue to be impressive and continue to push USA basketball in these international tournaments and Olympic play.
Fouling like that isn't how you get back in the game.
That's his first personal foul.
Jones kicks to Dedmon. Here's Teague. Five to shoot. Oh, and the dunk by Jones.
That was like a morning paper for Jeff Teague. Makes a great read and swings the ball around for a clean look at the bucket.
Now here's Jackson. Here's Alexander Walker. It's good. The assist this time from Jackson. Jackson's got his third assist on the night. A bit under 3.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth.
That screen.
And the officials will call the illegal screen right there.
That way.
Yeah, another turnover. But guys, on the whole, I think they've done a great job of running their offense without too many miscues.
The Pelicans have gone 2 of 4 from the field since we started the final quarter of play. Okafor finds Jackson. From downtown. Rebound by the Hawks.
That's another just bad decision on a night full of those. His shot selection tonight has been questionable at best.
Teague against Jackson. Floats one, and plenty of contact on the shot. So 2 free throws coming up. And the foul called on the New Orleans Pelicans.
Now, hard to match up with Jeff Teague because he's very adept at drawing contact.
Last year, the average salary for a starting point guard, Brent, in the NBA, was the highest among all positions.
Take a break.
Why would that be?
Well, with the way the game has changed, Kevin, there's certainly an emphasis on being able to find guys who are initiating offense, scoring the basketball, shooting three-pointers, and you're seeing a big shift in salaries between point guards and bigs. That's where the biggest disparity is. Centers in the league are getting less and less of an opportunity to have the extended big money contracts because the game has moved to the perimeter. And if you're a big that cannot play on the perimeter, there's not a lot of teams that are willing to invest a significant amount of their cap space into the center position. They want guards and wings who can play out there and do the damage from there.
Well, for New Orleans, shooting about 42% so far. Now here's Moore. Graham defending. Moore right side. And denied. He sends it right off the glass. The floater. Graham with the bucket. And so it's Jackson who brings it up for the Pelicans. Got a piece of it. And now here comes Teague leading the break. And the layup's good off the glass. Teague's got 23.
Well, at 6'2" and 182, Jeff Teague really had to use all the strength in his body to get that shot off despite getting hit.
Teague against Jackson. Connects in the foul line jumper.
And you like to see since the half now, he's finally starting to come around.
The pass to Dedmon. Brent, a few players now host podcasts, participate with those elements, with those vehicles during the season. Any thoughts on that?
I think it's great. I think it's fantastic for our fan base and for our players to have an outlet, to have conversations and share a little bit more about their personality. It grows them as people, I think, Kevin, especially I've listened to J.J. Redick's many times over, and you learn something new, not only about players, but about their interests and how they're spending time. And I think if you were a young player, let's say you were a high school senior and you're a college player, and you're listening to some of the things the guys are talking about in their experiences, I think it's invaluable for what it is that you don't know exists around a player in the NBA, and for you to start having considerations about how difficult the task is, how mentally taxing. So these things are great outlets for the players.
And so Teague gets 2 free throws.
Well, the defense has failed to cut off any of these driving lanes, which is why they're resorting to fouling him, and he's hurting them from the charity stripe.
Moore inside. Graham defending. Teague the pass to Fernando. And that comes off the assist by Jeff Teague. Teague's got 4 assists in the game.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
New Orleans moving the ball around. Moore inside. Graham defending. Belly. He sticks that one in from 20 feet away.
A lot of people feel like Moore has natural point guard ability, so I like to see him find the open man.
Teague against Jackson. A nice shot by Teague. Teague's got 12 points now in the quarter.
Well, he doesn't look satisfied with the lead right now. He wants more, and he looks like he's going to get it.
Now Moore. But obviously some good players have taken less money for a chance at a winning championship situation. That's made some rich teams even better.
Well, you have to appreciate a player in that regard, thinking that the financial gains that he could have somewhere else and playing for a team that's not capable of doing what it is that you're trying to do, and that's win a championship, that they've decided, look, it's not about that for me. What it is about the experience of being around a team that elevates itself to being the best team in the league. And if you're fortunate enough at the highest level, Kevin, as a basketball player, to be around a championship, that experience sticks with you for a lifetime. So you do appreciate guys looking for those opportunities to be around a championship.
At the line for the Hawks, DeAndre Bembry. 2 shots.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The first one falls. Reddish, he's checked in for Atlanta. And a change for the Pelicans. Hayes is checked in. And so he hits both. And the contract structure for NBA first-rounders, 2 years guaranteed, 2 years of team options, a qualifying offer. Brent, should we consider changing that up?
I think it's working pretty well, Kevin. I think every front office is out there trying to find players out there that are giving you value beyond your contract. And that happens a lot when you're a team that has a first-round pick, 1 through 10, 1 through 20, and you hit on a draft choice. You potentially could get 3 years and sometimes 4 when you have incredible players coming into the league as their first year, changing franchises around. But a player that's providing way more value than the contract that they're getting at that time. So I don't see that changing much. It gives teams a long enough time to evaluate the talent coming in.
Seems to be working.
It does. And the players that prove it are looking at the calendar saying, did I fast forward 3 years? Because I really like to cash in on what I'm doing for you.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
Moore passes to Jackson. He dishes it to Hayes. Moore right side to stop the drought. And he tries off the glass, but it's no good.
And the stroke definitely lacking confidence this quarter. Nothing on target.
And it's good, 2 points.
Just a much smaller defender on him. He does the exact thing at the right moment, goes straight to the rim.
They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Jackson looking around. Lots of room. And that one is good. Here's Graham. Grant, with advanced analytics becoming commonplace in the NBA, which stats do you personally hold most valuable?
Well, it's amazing to talk about effective field goal percentage. I laugh a lot about...
Which is everything shooting. Free throws.
Yeah, well, I like to use true shooting percentage, Kevin, because that's where you adopt 3-point shooting percentage, 2-point shooting percentage, and your free throw percentage.
Everything.
But in talking to a lot of people around the league, general managers and coaches, I laugh inside to myself a little bit like, well, so now shooting's important? Like what? Like now shooting's important around the league?
Right.
As if, the time that you go out to start playing basketball, you grab a ball, you go towards the goal, and your goal is to make the shot. And so we're talking so much more about how much shooting is valued. Effective field goal percentage is tremendous, with true shooting percentage being not far behind.
Passes it to Reddish. The Hawks working the ball around. Pass to Bembry. 6 to shoot. Shoots. That one wide left.
The right thing there to stay that tight on him and really try to keep him out of his comfort zone.
And the Hawks making a change here. Teague's checked in. For New Orleans, they've gone 7 of 16 from the field here in the fourth. That's about 43%. Teague against Jackson. Pass to Okafor. The drive by Jackson. Good D by Jones.
How about the timing he shows there to challenge that shot?
Yeah, not easy to do there, and that's a guy that you can tell takes every possession defensively very seriously.
Here's Teague. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. Brent, something other major sports do, reseeding during the playoffs. So the highest seeds always will play the lowest seeds. And do you think the NBA should go down that road?
I think the consideration will still be there. I think that conversation is going to happen over the course of the next 2 or 3 years. I don't see it changing in that time, Kevin, but it's healthy to continue the dialogue to the point where maybe we do get there.
Mm-hmm. First one falls for him. And so Teague hits 2 free throws. And it's Jackson with the ball, bringing it up for New Orleans.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for the Hawks.
This was a team performing to its fullest capability.
A hugely satisfying win. A game that not many will soon forget. And on the other side, one that I think most will try to forget.
And I think a great job in positioning themselves for the W here. It's win number 21 on the season.
And they'll take the win tonight, setting the tone in the first matchup of this 4-game season series.
And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance for Jeff Teague.
Every time he shot it, it seemed like it was going to drop in. And if it didn't, everyone was surprised.
2 shots. Relax on the first.
And he makes the first.
Moore, as an efficient scorer out here, plays well within himself on the offensive end.
And so Moore nails both of them. Here's Bembry. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. And guys, they can just sit on the ball here if they want to.
They have earned this win.
And there's the pass to Teague. It's a floater. And it's Melly with the rebound.
Oh, just everything right about that crossover. Just didn't have anything left there for the finish.
And so it's the Hawks taking care of business in this one. This game may not have been the most exciting we've ever seen, but you have to appreciate just what a clinical performance they put on.
I know their fans appreciated it, and we saw at times just stretches of excellent defense. Potency from an offensive standpoint as well. They were pretty much dominant.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Brett Berry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our 2K Sports crew. So long.